The assassination of Charlie Kirk is going to go down in history as probably one of the most prolific occasions ever to have taken place. And some of you might turn around and say, really? Kind of overreacting there. I don't even know who Charlie Kirk was. And the reason it's going to go down has such an important occurrence in humanity and mankind is because Charlie was the very essence of what it meant for freedom and free speech. His whole ideology was prove to me that I am wrong with your mind and with your mouth, and would have championed freedom, would have championed peacefulness. And you're going to have people that are going to turn around and say, no, he didn't. He was the one who was inciting hatred and all that. They tend to be the people who kind of lack the intelligence to be able to understand, or more importantly, to be able to listen to what people say. He was an incredible family man. If you watch so many of his videos, which I did and which millions of people have the world over, he was always championing the family, his beautiful wife, his fantastic 2 kids. And now we have a widow and we have 2 children that are fatherless because a man who tried to champion and, more importantly, tried to create a platform for you and I to be able to debate. It was always, I don't mind if you disagree with me. Let's trash it out in an argument. Let's trash it out in a debate. Let's see, prove to me that I'm wrong. And if you can, you'll win me over, which is the way, I don't know if it was the way it used to be or the way it should be, but it's certainly not the way it is right now. That shot was pulled off, no doubt, by either an incredibly trained sniper to have shot him from where he did, the position, at the distance away that he was, or one hell of a fluke. We don't know, obviously, but I'm going to go with pretty much the former. That was one hell of a shot to pull off. The problem with us normalizing seeing all this now on the internet, between that and that poor innocent Ukrainian woman who was literally slaughtered, is I still can't get my head around if it's a good or if it's a bad thing to be normalizing seeing these videos, seeing people die in front of your very eyes. I don't know. When I saw the video of that poor girl, I just turned around and I said to myself, oh my God, I don't have a daughter, but that could have been anybody's daughter. That could have been anybody's sister, mother, auntie, God only knows what. And to see how she instantly turned into like a 2-3-year-old girl who was so scared, so frightened, knew exactly what happened, but was in such shock, couldn't react to it, only to fall over. I really wish I didn't see it. I really wish I didn't see it. But part of me is saying, we have a serious problem in the world. To see Charlie assassinated the way he was yesterday and to see the amount of blood that came out of his neck was just disgusting, horrendous, vile. And that sums up the people that attacked him. And that's my point. I never knew just how bad it was with how these people have infiltrated the media, the judicial system, the financial system, particularly the media, to see what the likes of RTE, BBC have come out with, far right, blah, blah. This was an innocent man who championed freedom, who championed debate, who championed free speech for the world over, who was assassinated in front of everybody's eyes. The amount of comments that I've seen on social media championing this man's death from sick, twisted individuals, I really hope you give your heads a wobble. I really hope that after posting this shite that you turn around and go, what the hell was I thinking? Maybe I have been brainwashed. Maybe I have been indoctrinated into this way of thinking that if you disagree with me, I get to kill you. And if I don't get to kill you, I'll champion the guy who does. What are you thinking? Nothing from our politicians to come out and say, this is horrible, this is despicable. What in the name of God have we witnessed? They probably will now because they all watch my stuff. They probably will come out and say that. This was a really good friend of the President of America and the Vice President of America. Probably played a very integral part of getting Donald Trump elected by just championing the whole concept of free speech. I think we have to say the concept of free speech right now, because that's exactly what it is, because they're trying their level best to squash it. And if you can take any good, and trust me, I've taught long and hard as how in the name of God can you take any good of a young man being assassinated on a global stage, is God help any country that tries to enforce hate speech and free speech legislation onto its citizens, because I'm telling you, you will take on the holy wrath of America on top of you, because you could see with the incredible speech that Trump made about what it meant to him about losing a friend, and what it meant to him about seeing a young family man being assassinated in front of everybody's eyes, and that this is the guy who championed free speech. God help any government, particularly our own, who try to rush through any laws that are going against free speech or hate speech. When you think about it, the stuff that has been said by these absolutely insane, delusional, the amount of men dressed up as women in profiles that have championed the death and the assassination of Charlie Kirk, that have turned around and went, this is a joyous occasion, he was such a see you next Tuesday. All this kind of stuff that they are championing. None of them will be held to account. Not one will be held to account for inciting hatred, for championing hatred, and for going after a man whose now poor wife and children are left alone. But if you or I were to say something, if you or I were to come out and post something that they deem to be hurty words, you could be arrested. You could be locked up, particularly in the UK. It's absolutely the two-tier, scandalous country world that we are living in right now at the moment is just beyond comprehension. We've had world leaders who've openly tweeted their deepest condolences to a member of the coalition of the willing whose pet fucking died. And nobody has come out yet to say, we are so sorry, America. Because trust me, America, trust me, the good American people that are out there, what you are seeing from Ireland is not what the majority of the Irish people think. We have a relationship that goes back decades, if not centuries, between Ireland and America. And we have a couple of people right now that are trying to destroy that right now at the moment. We all stand with you and we all offer our condolences because we know what a huge figure that Charlie Kirk was. And we have nobody in power that is coming out to say, we offer our condolences to the president and the vice president of America who have just had a very good friend of theirs assassinated. Let's think about that for a second. I never realized just how deep these sick, twisted individuals went into so many institutions around the world. I knew it was toxic. I knew it was bad, but I never realized just how bad it was. To see what the Irish media have come out with, to see them on the likes of The Tonight Show and on the news, and how they describe this man. Take everything off the table. This was a 31-year-old man who was married, who had 2 children, who championed free speech and championed quality family living. That's what he championed. Now, you in your sick, twisted mind may try to turn it around and say, no, actually, he incited hatred to me, a minority group. I want to be identified as a woman. And he would say, but you're a man. Now, you prove to me that I'm wrong and that you're a woman. These are the kind of debates that this man had. And he went around to colleges all around the States to try and teach the young people to say, it's okay to disagree. It's okay that you and I do not have the same concept in life as each other. But we'll debate it and we'll talk about it. And hey, we'll try and even convince each other, maybe you're right, maybe I'm right. And let's go for a beer afterwards. This is the man that was assassinated. And that's why this will go down in history as one of the most significant occasions ever to have taken place across the globe. Because a very good man was shot dead because somebody disagreed with him. Now think about that going forward. Think about that if somebody disagrees with you, if somebody disagrees with me, if somebody disagrees with whatever. We have a Taoiseach who's come out who's saying, I'm being, and absolutely 100%, I'm being targeted by, and I'm being threatened. This man was more than threatened. This man was assassinated on a global stage for the world to see because somebody fucking disagreed with him. Think about that. I think our powers that be should be on immediately offering their condolences to America because that's exactly what needs to be done. Let me know in your comments. As always, I want to see this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can't believe a man like Charlie Kirk was assassinated and some people are gloating about it. Give your heads a wobble.